Morning guys, so Wednesday the 2nd of September. You're going well. Morning. Keep going. So sort of a few things were just mulling through my mind. I went into the college yesterday. They were going for a lot of changes you need to be aware of when online as well, but particularly any delivery face to face. And I have to say, I was really quite impressed with the level of things that they've put in place, the time they've obviously taken to try and make the space as safe as possible for the staff and for the learners, particularly because at the end of the day they want to be able to keep it, to such a safe environment that they can they can obviously stay open and give people more access to more learning. So it was different. There's also a lot to get your head around as well, and it's not so much the bigger picture actually, really. I think it's more what I call the minor detail of like just sort of having gloves on and putting certain things on tables already prepared with for example all worksheets in say clear wallets, and then being given at the beginning. So I'm normally quite prepared anyway when I deliver courses, but actually what struck me was I think the need to think through quite clearly the detail, and of course you learn as you go along as well. So again, it's like accepting when there are changes to things. You're used to certain ways of doing stuff, that you are gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have to sort of give yourself a bit of ease, flexibility. When I say flexibility, I mean that little bit of being easier on yourself, being kinder if you're not always getting stuff right or knowing quite what you're doing. But interestingly, I remember when I did that, when started online, and I think I remember saying it after a period of time, I noticed that I was much more easier on myself. I think that I also remember saying, oh, you know, I wonder if I'll be able to transfer this, you know, level of being easier on myself and not having to be the, you know, have everything spot on 100%. You know, whether I'll be able to transfer that to any face-to-face delivery. And in a way, I can see that I will be able to, just purely because it's new and different ways of looking at doing things again. So yeah, it's also coming back to that one step at a time as well, one piece at a time, because I've been using a lot of the online Zoom, and they were also talking quite a bit about, which I know that they've been saying for a while, about wanting to utilise Teams more. So we were sort of being shown a little bit of that, and a real whistle tour, and then it was like, oh, you know, just have a go, play around with it, so to speak. And it's interesting, we all have our own learning, you know, styles, our ways of doing stuff. And I can do that for a little while, but then what I find is, if I just don't, you know, if I don't get one piece, or it doesn't quite, I'm not quite getting it, so I can't go to the next point, I find that really sort of frustrating. And in fact, I actually said to somebody, I think my preferred way of working, and certainly I know when we for a while I've got used to now using another online platform called Moodle, and it took me a number of months to sort of get my head around as much of that as I can. But what helped was actually having somebody be able to sort of really just show me a number of steps, almost like, you know, like bite-sized, chunking it down. So, you know, let's just focus on X, Y and Z, or A, B and C. Do that in what I call a logical order, and yeah, just get your head around that, do that for a bit, and then see what the next step may be. And I am going to remind myself that it took me, when I really thought about it, I thought, well, you know, I've been using, say, things like Zoom. I started to use Moodle before then, but certainly it was still, you know, Moodle has taken me months and months, and I'm still learning stuff. Zoom again, you know, March, April, May, July, about 5-6 months. I still don't know every single thing, but I'm more familiar. And so therefore, if I'm, you know, being encouraged to look at another platform, another way of doing stuff in terms of delivery online, then that's not going to happen overnight either, and that's going to take some time. So it's each time just taking that step back, really, and going, okay, you know, what is it I need right now? What is the essentials? What's the basics for this period of time? And just getting to grips with practicing those pieces before I look at the next step. A bit like, you know, don't try and run before you can walk. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna take some, you know, to have some sort of time where I can have somebody sort of help show me some of the basics. And as always, I mean, it's the same with anything you do, computer-wise, you know, Zoom, well, even basics of putting a computer on and getting your head around it. You know, that common phrase we've all heard, oh, it's really easy, it's really simple. No, honestly, it really is. And I always say, something is, I get why people say that when they know something, but something's only as easy and as simple as you know, what you know at the time and how much you have been able to practice it, and how well perhaps, you know, somebody's also been able to help you learn how to do something. So that always makes me smile, that phrase, and I think that's also an important thing for me to keep reminding myself for other learners as well, whether that be actually online or face to face. It's like it takes time, and we're all different. We all work at different speeds, different ways of learning. So yeah. So guys, have the rest of a... Oh! Yeah, she's seeing a squirrel. Here she comes, yeah! So have the rest of a wild, wacky, wowsy, wonky, weirdy Wednesday, and I shall speak to you later, guys. Take care, bye.